when you're just trying to keep the lights on, put food on the table, and make it to the next paycheck. The idea of building wealth can feel unrealistic, not because you don't want more, not because you don't care, but because survival mode leaves no margin. And here's the truth, most people won't say out loud. You can't build wealth the same way when you're too busy surviving. But that doesn't mean wealth is out of reach. If you stay with me until the end, I'm going to show you how people in survival mode can still begin laying the foundation for long-term wealth without guilt, hype, or unrealistic advice. So let's get started. Let's be clear about what we're talking about today. This video is for people who are working hard, doing their best, and still feel like they're barely keeping their head above water. You may be dealing with rising costs, debt, family responsibilities, or inconsistent income. And when someone says you should be investing, it can feel disconnected from reality. This isn't about overnight success or skipping steps. This is about building stability first, then using that stability to grow. Let's look at our first topic. Survival mode is not a failure. Before we talk about money strategies, we need to reset the mindset. Being in survival mode does not mean you failed. Survival mode usually means you didn't start with generational wealth. You didn't get a financial education early. You're carrying responsibilities that don't show up on spreadsheets. Most people don't struggle because they're irresponsible. They struggle because they're under-resourced. Understanding that matters because shame blocks progress. And progress starts with clarity, not comparison. Which leads to my second topic. Wealth starts with protection, not invest. Here's where most advice goes wrong. People tell you to invest before you protect. The problem is, protection is key. Look at it like this. Wealth doesn't start with growth. It starts with defense. That means making sure one emergency doesn't wipe you out. Making sure one illness doesn't derail your income. Making sure one death doesn't create generational setback. It's simple. It's a mindset of being proactive instead of reactive. See, protection is an emergency buffer, even if it's small. For example, basic life insurance. This is needed to make sure you have coverage that protects your income and your family. This isn't about fancy products. It's about reducing the risk of going backwards. Now, let's go to my third topic. Small margins still matter. When you're surviving, people often say, I don't have anything left to save. But wealth isn't built by large amounts first. It's built by habits. Let me repeat that. Wealth is built by habits, especially creating good habits towards your goal. Meaning, $5 saved consistently builds something more important than money. It builds control. Control creates confidence. Confidence creates options. And options are the gateway to wealth. Let me share a real situation. I worked with someone who wasn't investing, wasn't saving much, and felt stuck. Instead of pushing investments, we focused on three things. Number one, protecting their income by using life insurance and individual disability. Number two, creating a small emergency cushion. This is becoming more disciplined with your spending. And number three, getting clarity around where money was leaking. And you know what this is? It's those streaming subscriptions and those things you can live without. Let me say it like this. What you will recognize is that within a year, nothing dramatic changed, but everything shifted. You are not panicking anymore. You weren't using credit for emergencies. And for the first time, investing felt possible, not forced. That's how wealth starts, quietly. You say, Jay, you've said all of this, but what should I focus on right now? If you're in survival mode, here's where your attention should go. First, stabilize. That means food, housing, transportation, and insurance basics. Second, protect. Life insurance and income protection matter more than returns. Third, create margin. Not a lot, just enough to breathe. Fourth, then grow. Once survival eases, investing becomes a tool, not a stressor. Skipping steps creates frustration. Following order creates progress. If you're busy surviving, don't let anyone make you feel ashamed or like you are behind because guess what? Compared to somebody else, they are probably behind too, and maybe in worse shape than you. So don't buy in what others have to say. Keep in mind, wealth isn't built by rushing. It's built by sequence, mindset, stability, protection, growth. If you get the order right, wealth becomes achievable, even from hard beginnings or lack of education. Now, if this content was helpful, put a thumbs up in the comment section and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Ask you this, take a moment and go through my video library. I tackle subjects on home, auto, business, and retirement. I have information in my library that somebody you know needs to hear. So share this content with someone who may benefit from those topics. But don't stop here. Check out my next video on your left for more insurance and financial tips. And as I like to say, call Jay today.